My horoscopes are designed to be read from the perspective of your sun sign if you have Capricorn as your sun sign, or especially your rising sign if Capricorn is your rising sign. I'll provide a general overview of the year ahead, highlighting some of the key planetary transits to give you an idea of which areas of your life may become more active over the coming year. Let's dive right in. This is the planetary movements calendar, which shows where the planets will start at the beginning of the year and how far they will travel through the zodiac signs by the end of the year. This helps you understand which areas of your chart will experience more or less activity over the next 12 months. Below, I'll outline some of the major transits I'll be discussing, roughly in the order in which I'll cover them. You can refer back to these dates later if you want more specifics about the timeframes involved. Now let's dive into the first major transit I want to highlight for you, which is the Mars retrograde, a significant influence that will unfold throughout the first 4 months of 2025. Mars recently stationed retrograde in your 8th house of shared resources, and it's going to backtrack into your 7th house of relationships at the very beginning of January. This can be a tricky transit, especially for those of you with day charts, as Mars retrograde, which began in December 2024, can stir up issues related to conflict, power struggles, or challenges tied to how other people's money or shared resources play a role in your life. For many of you, this could bring to the surface financial matters connected to a partner, particularly if they're dealing with financial difficulties, or it might relate to debt, taxes, inheritance, or any joint financial obligations you may have. What's especially noteworthy is that Mars will first bring attention to these financial matters in your 8th house in December, and then, as it moves back into your 7th house in early January, the focus will shift toward your one-on-one relationships. This retrograde will stay in your relationship sector for the first 4 months of 2025, creating potential tension and challenges. This is a period when even small disagreements or misunderstandings in relationships could escalate into much larger conflicts than you might expect. The energy of Mars retrograde tends to amplify any friction, so it's crucial to be mindful of how you handle disputes. What may initially seem like a minor disagreement could spiral out of control, potentially causing damage to your relationships or partnerships, whether personal or professional. With Mars linking the 8th and 7th houses, there could also be an element of financial conflict involved. Perhaps an argument about money or shared resources may arise, especially if it touches on debts, joint investments, or financial responsibilities shared with another. Given this, I highly recommend taking extra care during this period, especially in the first 4 months of the year, to avoid unnecessary conflict. Jupiter's presence will support growth, healing, and opportunities for deepening connections in your relationships. So while the beginning of the year may present some tests, the latter half promises to bring some much-needed positive shifts in your relational dynamics. Jupiter in the 7th house, growth and renewal in relationships. Jupiter, the planet of growth and optimism, will act as a healer to counterbalance the disruptions caused by Mars in your 7th house of relationships, partnerships, and commitments during the first 4 months of the year. Starting in the second half of 2025 and extending into the first half of 2026, Jupiter's presence will bring a wave of positive energy, helping to smooth out any tensions and clear away lingering challenges. This transit marks an excellent period for building and deepening relationships. If you are single, there's a strong potential to meet someone special and enter a meaningful partnership. For those already in a relationship, Jupiter's influence can elevate your connection to a new level. This might mean engagement, marriage, or simply experiencing a time of harmony and growth together. Fourth house activity: family, home, and foundations. In 2025, your fourth house, which governs home, living situations, and family dynamics, will be activated by significant astrological events. In March-April, the final eclipse in Aries will occur in this house, marking a culmination point for changes that began in late 2023. Eclipses represent major endings and beginnings, and this one will highlight pivotal developments in your domestic life. You may experience changes like relocating, purchasing property, or redefining your relationship with your parents or primary caregivers. This eclipse also signifies the closing of a cycle, so any transformations or decisions around family and home that have been unfolding since late 2023 will reach a critical turning point. Shortly after the eclipse, Saturn and Neptune will transition from your third house of communication and siblings into your fourth house between April and June. By the middle of the year, Saturn and Neptune will move into an almost exact conjunction in the early degrees of Aries, intensifying their influence over your home and family life. Saturn brings structure, responsibility, and a call to face reality in matters related to family and your living environment. You may take on new obligations within your home, such as caring for a family member or solidifying your foundations through property or major household changes. On the other hand, Neptune stirs dreams, ideals, and emotional depth, encouraging you to envision and create the home life you truly desire. This combination of Saturn and Neptune can blur the lines between dreams and responsibilities, prompting you to balance practical needs with emotional fulfillment. It's a period that may bring challenges, but also opportunities to strengthen your connection to family and establish a deeper sense of security and belonging within your home. Saturn and Neptune in the fourth house, the dance between reality and illusion. The year 2025 marks the beginning of Saturn's 3-year journey through your fourth house of home, family, and your emotional foundations, a transit that always carries the weight of responsibility and restructuring. This is a defining period when Saturn, the taskmaster of the cosmos, urges you to face challenges head-on, often in ways that test your resilience. When Saturn moves through the fourth house, it can highlight structural or emotional issues that demand your attention. For some, this manifests in very tangible forms: maintenance problems, home repairs, or decisions about whether to invest in your current living situation or let it go altogether. For others, the challenges are more subtle, emerging as emotional distance or complexities in relationships with your parents or family members. Saturn tends to strip away illusions and push you to confront the truth, whether that truth lies within your home's physical structure or the dynamics of your familial relationships. What's critical here is that these shifts won't feel completely sudden. The eclipses in Aries that have been activating this part of your chart over the past year were the prelude, setting the stage for the transformation Saturn now demands. The energy has been building, and as Saturn settles into this space, starting in the late spring and early summer of 2025, you'll feel the weight of these themes crystallizing into something unavoidable but ultimately surmountable. Simultaneously, Neptune enters your fourth house for an extended stay that will unfold over the next decade. Neptune's influence is ethereal, nebulous, and at times mystifying. It brings a veil of softness and ambiguity to matters of home and family. On one hand, Neptune invites you to dream. It can inspire you to reimagine your living space as a sanctuary of creativity, beauty, or spiritual retreat. Perhaps you'll redesign your home to reflect an aesthetic ideal, or start seeing your personal space as a canvas for artistic and emotional expression. On the other hand, Neptune's presence can blur boundaries and leave you feeling uncertain about what's real and what isn't. Navigating this energy requires balance. Too much Saturn, and you risk becoming overwhelmed by pessimism, seeing nothing but obstacles. Too much Neptune, and you may lose touch with reality, building castles in the air with no foundation to support them. The key lies in harnessing Saturn's discipline to give form to Neptune's dreams, allowing yourself to create something both beautiful and sustainable in your home and familial life. This summer offers just the first taste of this complex interplay, a sneak peek into the deeper work that Saturn and Neptune will unfold in the years to come. Pay attention to the subtle shifts. Where do you feel tension? Where do you feel called to dream bigger? And where is reality asking you to build firmer foundations? The answers will emerge as you begin to align your vision of home with the practical structures that can sustain it. Venus retrograde in the fourth house, revisiting the past and redesigning your foundations. As Venus begins its retrograde journey in Aries this spring, it activates your fourth house of home, family, and roots, weaving yet another layer of transformation into this already significant area of your chart. Venus retrograde often carries themes of re-evaluation and reconnection, and in the fourth house, it can spark a strong urge to reimagine and redesign your living environment. Whether this manifests as a sudden desire to redecorate, reorganize, or embark on a full-scale home renovation project, the drive to make your personal space feel more harmonious and aligned with your evolving needs will be undeniable. For those of you with night charts, where the sun is below the horizon at birth, this Venus retrograde could be particularly positive. The process of reshaping your home or rethinking your family dynamics may bring unexpected joy and fulfillment, even if it feels chaotic or disruptive at first, especially given that this transit coincides with eclipse season. Chaos, in this case, is fertile ground for creativity, and the end result could leave you feeling like your living space finally reflects who you are becoming. Venus retrograde in the fourth house, however, doesn't just concern the physical home. It often brings the past to the surface. Since retrogrades inherently pull us backward, this transit may stir up unresolved emotions or situations from your early family life. You might reconnect with parts of your personal history, or even experience the return of family members you've been distant from. This is particularly true if there have been lingering conflicts or separations in the family that now demand resolution. Parents or parental figures may play a central role in this narrative, with opportunities arising to heal or reconsider your relationship dynamics with them. Venus retrograde shifts back into the third house, communication, siblings, and your immediate environment. As Venus continues its retrograde, It moves backward into your third house of communication, siblings, and your immediate environment. The shift here is significant, as it brings attention to relationships with siblings, extended family members, and even neighbors or your local community. You might experience reconnections with siblings, cousins, or relatives you haven't spoken to in a while, perhaps even revisiting unresolved dynamics or misunderstandings from the past. The third house also governs short-distance travel and the daily rhythm of your environment. Venus retrograde here could encourage you to reassess your connection to your neighborhood or community. You might find yourself spending more time in familiar places, revisiting spots that hold sentimental value, or feeling called to reconnect with local networks in a more meaningful way. On a more symbolic level, this transit encourages you to rethink your patterns of communication. Conversations from the past may resurface, offering a chance to say what was left unsaid or to repair broken lines of dialogue. Writing, journaling, or even short trips could serve as tools for reflection and resolution during this time. Ultimately, Venus retrograde creates an opportunity for you to bridge the gap between your roots and your immediate surroundings. It starts with the foundation of your home and family life, and then shifts to how you interact with those closest to you in your day-to-day world. While retrogrades are often unpredictable, the underlying message here is about reconnection with your space, with your past, and with the people who form the fabric of your life. The shifting eclipses. Transformations in knowledge, belief, and communication. As Venus wraps up its retrograde dance, we move into a significant series of eclipses that will activate your third and ninth house axis throughout 2025. This shift is monumental as it touches on the core of how you see the world, ninth house, and how you express that vision to others, third house. The September 2024 eclipse in Pisces likely emphasized these issues, highlighting areas of tension or unfinished business. Now, as the eclipses begin to fully unfold in 2025, the third and ninth houses become a focal point of change. The first eclipse in Virgo this spring occurs in your ninth house of higher knowledge, travel, and belief systems. This signals the beginning of a series of major beginnings and endings related to your outlook on life, education, personal philosophy, and spiritual beliefs. The ninth house is where you encounter the larger world, its wisdom, cultures, and unfamiliar perspectives. This is a period where you may embark on a transformative journey, a trip that shifts your worldview, exposes you to new cultures, or leaves a lasting impression on your sense of self. Pursue higher education or dive deeply into new areas of study that challenge and expand your understanding of the world. Experience a shift in your personal beliefs, spiritual orientation, or even political philosophy as you re-evaluate what you stand for and why. At its core, the ninth house eclipses push you to expand your horizons, urging you to seek experiences that challenge your assumptions and reshape your belief system. Whether it's through education, travel, or spiritual exploration, your inner compass is evolving. Meanwhile, the eclipses in Pisces activate your third house, representing communication, siblings, neighbors, and your immediate environment. As you go through these internal shifts in belief and perspective, ninth house, you'll begin to see their reflection in your daily communication and interactions. At first, you may struggle to articulate these changes to those around you. The transformation within you may feel too vast to convey clearly. Misunderstandings, tensions, or gaps in communication could arise. However, this process is necessary. The third house eclipses teach you to adapt your voice, refining how you express your ideas and evolving beliefs to others. This could also coincide with reconnecting with siblings or extended family members, particularly if distance or past conflicts have strained these relationships. Shifts in your immediate environment, such as changes within your neighborhood or community that affect your daily rhythms. Revisiting projects involving writing, teaching, or short-distance travel, as these themes gain greater prominence and significance. The beauty of this eclipse cycle lies in its interconnectedness. The Venus retrograde earlier in the year will lay the groundwork, helping you revisit relationships and themes in the fourth house, home and roots, and the third house, communication and connection. By the time the eclipses reach full activation in the fall of 2025, you'll be navigating the push-pull between your inner transformation, ninth house, and your ability to communicate it to the external world, third house. The tension from Saturn's transit through the third house over the past 2 years will start to ease, but its lessons remain as a foundation for growth. Now, with the eclipses, you'll have the opportunity to integrate the wisdom you've gained, express yourself with greater clarity, and re-establish meaningful connections with the people in your immediate world. This year marks the beginning of a profound shift in how you learn, what you believe, and how you share it. Pay attention to the subtle changes in your thoughts, relationships, and environment. They are the keys to unlocking this transformative chapter. Uranus leaves the fifth house. A new era of work and wellness begins. The final transit that's worth noting, and one that marks a monumental shift, is Uranus departing from your fifth house of creativity, children, romance and leisure, where it's been stirring up change, excitement and occasional chaos since 2018. Over the past 6 years, Uranus likely brought unexpected developments in these areas. Maybe a surprise romance, unconventional approaches to parenting or creative projects, or a renewed understanding of what joy and spontaneity mean to you. Whether liberating or disruptive, this period has reshaped your relationship with fun, passion, and self-expression. But now, as we move into July 2025, Uranus begins its journey into your sixth house of work, health, and daily routines, bringing its signature energy of revolution, innovation, and rapid change into these realms of your life. This is a preview of a 7-year cycle that will continue well into the early 2030s. Here's what to expect. Workplace shake-ups and liberation. The sixth house governs your work environment, daily responsibilities, and how you serve others. Uranus is not subtle. It uproots the status quo. For some, this could mean sudden changes in your workplace, such as shifts in your job role, a career pivot, or even deciding to work independently and seek more freedom. You may feel an urgent desire for autonomy in your career, breaking free from routines that feel restrictive. If you've been stuck in a monotonous cycle, Uranus will shake things up, sometimes in unexpected ways, but always with the aim of pushing you toward greater fulfillment and authenticity in your daily work. Health revolution, a focus on wellness. The sixth house also rules health, well-being, and physical care. With Uranus here, you may experience major breakthroughs in how you approach your health. This isn't about slow, steady changes. Uranus inspires radical shifts, whether it's a sudden decision to focus on fitness, adopt a new diet, or revolutionize your self-care routines. For some, this may involve incorporating technology and innovation into your wellness journey. Think wearable health trackers, fitness apps, biohacking, or exploring cutting-edge approaches to nutrition and physical health. Uranus's energy is electric and forward-thinking, so this could be the spark you need to embrace exciting new methods for taking care of your body and creating sustainable habits.